Hi, Susan. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
I'm
So,
well. Issy,
so
can you
it,
please mute up? You bringing a little echo in. Go ahead.
so it's kind of bizarre that I actually have a friend. I've gone through this, and it kind of went to the point where I can't really hang up with her no more. So let me explain. She obviously has like issues like this woman from childhood. And I actually talked to one of my homeboys because we went out to New York to a party, and a friend that I went with, he has 8 brothers, and nobody wanted to talk to her, and she's actually beautiful. And I was like, so I talked to him. I was like, why is it that nobody wants to talk to her? And, they told me she's snotty. And I've been noticing like throughout the years, because we've been friends for 10 years, that she's like fake snotty, because she's actually a good person. But I've noticed that when she's around men, or men are approaching or other homegirls or whoever, she gets like fake snotty, like, oh no, like I'm too pretty and stuff like that. So we went to breakfast the next morning, and I tried to help her. I said, you had a guy there talking to you. And she's like, oh, well, look at me and look at him. And I said, well, that's kind of shallow, like that's what they said about you. Like you have to like really, even if like, why do you have that mentality? You can be friends with somebody and not like take it to any other level. So she wasn't receptive of the input that I was trying to give her, either. So and as the years went by, and I agreed with the girl that was here earlier, as the years went by, I noticed that affected her so much that she started becoming a hater. So she would talk to guys that wanted to talk to me behind my back. She would text them, oh, hi, how you doing? And be like, oh, they're just my friends, but they're not your friends. So her self-esteem, instead of taking that input in, instead of being humble, like people can tell, especially if you would agree with me, Noble, men can tell when a woman is not confident, right? Because you
Right,
can be confident and you can be snotty, but the humbleness is something that shines through you.
right.
You can see that a person's humble. You can be pretty and you can be very humble. I think that we mistake those two things. They don't correlate together. Like those two things are separate. You can be ugly and you can still be snotty. And then so somebody who has a low self-esteem, I've been noticing with the dealings with my friend, and this has been going on for 10 years. She's been single all her life, and she's actually very pretty. It's because she puts in like it's almost like an act, you know. She puts in an act like, no, I'm so valuable, this and that, when really inside, I know her
It's
personally, I know
miserable.
her family. She don't feel that way, so she's
Right.
not herself. And so for her not being herself, then it becomes not attractive, if that makes sense.
Well, if she knows in her heart of hearts that she does have like self-esteem issues, but she when men come around, she want to toot her dress up and put on this persona like she's this confident standoffish chick, like too good for men.
Mm-hmm.
She's doomed. I ain't. She low key doomed for failure. I don't. She's doomed
Mm-hmm.
for worse. Because it's one thing to have. It's one thing to have low self esteem, but to have low self esteem and then try to make act like you don't and act like you just the most confident person. That's a bad.
Right. Right. And I feel that, and I'm still dealing with, and I know, I don't know the specific young lady's situation, and I think that all of us female have dealt with self-esteem struggles at some point of our life. But you have to look into yourself and value yourself for the things that you can bring to the table. Is how I value myself anyway. The things that I bring to the table to get a self-esteem, but it's been going on, and I tried to educate her, and like I was saying, I don't know the lady's situation, but that could be a situation too, that she, feels the same as, so, self-esteem, and she puts on like a fake act in public, and that kind of rubs people the wrong way, because she's an attractive woman too. So, like, what's wrong there, and
And
if her friends tell her, you know
I have a question for the woman, and we can start with you, and then we can go to Soso, and then we can go to Zariah. Do y'all think that even if your friend, because your friend might not give you your lady friend might not give you the energy that she's hating on you, but like I said, at the end of the day, the same way women amongst the men, they want the accomplished guy, the man with the money, the most successful guy. Men want the most like beautiful like one in the group. So y'all are Destiny's Child, and everybody is not Beyonce, right? Like there can only be one Beyonce in the group. Like I said, when y'all are in the club, if me, Issy, and Genesis got a section, and Issy sees the group, not because he wants Z to come to VIP means Z and all her friends get to come. So Z has to make a decision, and this is something that really be happening. Like there's times where the girl be like, well, if you want me to come, then my girls got to come too. And then the guy be like, no. And then there's other times where the girls will like desert her friends and go be with the guy. And then the her friends be feeling some type of way. So my whole question is, do y'all think that women low key, like even if they don't give you that energy, is it very competitive amongst y'all? Do you think there is a lot of hate amongst lady friend groups?
Very clear when you go out with your friends on like what the circumstances are. So like if I got invited somewhere and I bring my friends, it's already known that they're coming with me to the section. Like I'm not ever just walking in the club and being like, see y'all later. That's not what we came to do. And there's 1,000 clubs, lounges, and bars that we can all be together at. I'm not pressed to be trying to be Jada Waiter in somebody's section. Like if it's a girls' night, we're gonna have fun, whether it's inside the crib or outside. So I don't know about that whole section stuff. If they can't come, I'm not coming, especially if we already plan to go out all together. Now, it is different if like I go out by myself and then I'll see some friends, then I'll make that decision if I want to stay by myself or join them and we do something together. But like I'm not going out anywhere and leaving my friends behind. Just I don't care about that much. And then when it comes to being the trophy girl, like you just said, I have been in a relationship like that and I don't really prefer it. Like I prefer genuine connection. I've had the guy who like to hold my hand and like all his friends like, oh my God, how'd you bag that? Like I've been in that and I don't like that. It doesn't feel genuine. And it doesn't like have as much substance to it as somebody that like actually cares about you and your goals and like, like just real genuine friendship. So I'm okay on the trophy wife spot.
Hmm. What about you,
Wait,
Soso?
Noble, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, but the question basically is like, even if you may not be getting the vibe that your friend is hating on you, or your friends are hating on you, do you low key think that there is, for whatever reason, a lot of competition amongst like female friend groups? And like, do you think
Oh,
that like because of that competition that they low key do be hating on each other a lot?
100%. Like, it's almost second nature to a lot of people, a lot of women. And it's sad because single ladies Beyonce is different than Lemonade Beyonce, but they're both Beyonce. There can be, you guys can all be Beyonces. Like I don't really understand why that exists among women, but I can't relate to that. It's like weirdo behavior to me. Like if my friend's approach, she's approached. Like she's a good looking girl and that man likes her, I let's go. I'm in full support of that. I really just don't understand, what am I capping about, Izzy? I don't understand what why as women we get upset at that. But yeah, that is true. There is a lot of jealousy amongst women within our friend groups.
I
If
was saying
I
you was
think
capping that you could all be Beyonce. Let's
No,
keep it a
you
buck.
you
Yo,
can. You
You
can,
can't.
because
yo,
there's different Beyonces. There's different types of Beyonce. Like I said, single lady Beyonce is different than Lemonade, but they're both Beyonce.
man, y'all got me tripping to the point where I feel like putting a camera on and just approaching groups of women just to see the reaction and how they display themselves. Like I feel like a social experiment is like in course. Like for real, my brain's like, obviously I'm not versed in all this stuff because I had my experience obviously, but I'm not. I don't see everything. And the circle I used to moved around is like we we're doing some things where we're not really rolling with the squares. Now I feel like I need to go to the bar and just approach a bunch of squares and be like, "Yo, what's up?" with a camera and just scope the thing, just a hidden camera and just see how this works out because it sounds like a big social experiment right now.
Nah, do it.
I mean, but okay, but like, let me just be clear on the fact that like both women and men, neither people in public or in public spaces owe anyone a conversation regardless.
Facts.
It is better to be friendly. Like I have even entertained the conversation with guys I knew that like he's not the cutest, he's not my type, but like just as a friendly person, if they're like, oh, your shoes are nice, and then we talk, and they're like, what do you do for a living? Like I'll entertain it because I'm a friendly, like, happy go lucky type of person. I feel like everybody, if I'm in the spirit and I have the time, a conversation, just a conversation. Like the girl in the video talking about how she gets approached by older guys. I conversate with older guys. Do I want a 60-year-old old man in the gas station? No, but like
Right.
a simple hi, how are you? I can respond and not be rude about it. Like, and maybe that's what she needs. Like maybe if you entertain it, you'll realize that like, oh, that was maybe a little the validation that I needed for the day, even though it's not healthy. But like, she's over here walking away and be like, oh no, he's too old. But like, maybe you need to just have that little bit of validation. I mean, just the only people that I don't entertain is kids, like in the mall, 16-year-old kids who trying to like follow me around. I'm like, you and my brother are the same age, like not happening. But yeah, just conversation.
So
But
I
you don't have to have conversation. Like, how he said he'll walk up to someone in the bar. Like somebody could have had a long day at work and they just relaxing by themselves. And like you might not get the reaction that you want, or she might not find you attractive. She doesn't have to talk to you.
Yeah, I was only speaking in group settings because the girl wasn't ever by herself because I'm going off based on the audio and the conversation. So we're not
Can I
talking about someone
ask?
individually because me personally, I've always found just how women react is better just to wait to like house parties, bar because I'm a security. I've been a security guard too because my criminal record is nice because I've been solid. Anyways,
Mhm.
what's it called? I've always found it better to wait till she's separate from her friends because the ego just drops. There's no one watching. The ego's gone. That's when she's her true self. And just watching as a security guard, I've watched that with most men. When they've waited till she's separated from her friends or she's on the way from the washroom or going to the washroom, she'll give that time of day for a second compared to when I see. I was like, oh, she's giving different energy when she's around her friends because the friendship influence is makes the woman different. I'm not saying all women, just from my observation.
No, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Can I?
Susan, hold on, Izzy, hold on.
And
Susan, go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree with XO on what she said about you don't owe everybody a conversation, but if you're going out to socialize, then socialize, and that gives your like your friendly demeanor to people, and then you become attractive also by personality. So if you are, and it goes back to the situation that I had with my friend, that she doesn't want to only socialize with like good looking men, and that makes her look a little bit conceited and a little bit more shallow. And in the situation too about the VIP, I've had the situation happen to me and her went out one day, and I was asked to go to the VIP and I said no. And I don't think she was happy with that answer, because even though I said no to the VIP, because I would never leave my friends, but it's just the fact that I was the one that was invited to the VIP. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Is there's a gray area, because some people will hate not on the type of love that you get, and is all internal. You have to heal yourself.
No, 100%. Like I said,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
I think
only
social
thing.
media.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, and that's like social media makes it where, like, she was talking about how she gets online attention. And I know people use dating apps as well. I'm personally like against it. I like genuine, natural relationships with individuals. I made most of my friends that way. And just because you don't find them attractive doesn't mean it has to go far. And there's also like an article too. I don't know like where it's written or where it is. You can probably Google that says like over time, women will find a man attractive if he checks off like other boxes. So like you
Hmm.
may originally see him and be like, he's not really my type or whatever the case may be, but like getting to know him, conversations, know his background, like all that, like you can grow to love and like somebody. I have family members who originally was like, I thought he was ugly at first. And now they're like married 20 plus years with kids. Like we for us, like women, it grows on us. And for guys, it's normally like I gotta like you here and now. So that's why I'm like always open. I just have conversations with people. And then
Right.
like I know someone in the comments was like, I'm always nice because, girls get killed nowadays. And that's a real thing. That's why you have to also know how to like have your exit line of
Yeah.
like, okay, well, it was nice meeting you, hope to see you around, or like if they want your social media, do that way you can like block or mute or whatever you need to do, and don't want to like give them your number, but like you can have good conversation. Like this is still real life. We don't always have to be sliding in the DMs and like trying to text back and forth. Like this is real life. You can have conversations in person.
Right. And another thing I just realized, and Genesis made this point, and I think a few other people made it before, there are so many other factors that we are not aware of. Because when she says she's approached by older men, how much older? Because, 2 years older can be older to her, or she could be talking about
She
somebody
said
that's
in
in
her
their 60s.
50s.
She's in her 50s?
No, she
No,
said like 50. She said in her 50s,
she
if
said,
I'm not mistaken.
she said when she does, and when she the rare time she does, and even has been approached, it's been by men age 50 and up.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
old is she?
I don't know exactly how old she is, but I'm gonna say she's either in her late 30s or early 40s.
Okay.
She's young. She's in her 30s. I'm
Yeah.
42. She's in her 30s. So, and I agree with XO about having a conversation, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes a bubbly personality and a friendly spirit also comes from confidence as well. You have to
Yep.
be confident to be able to talk to people. That you have to be confident in yourself to be able to be talk to people openly. It's kind of like a aurora that you give off when you're confident. And if you're not confident, then you might not talk to people and you might come off a certain way. So it's kind of like a train wreck.
I
I
just want
wanna I wanna address up. Oh, go ahead, Issy.
first off, I'm gonna make a bet with you, Noble. The next time that you say Zaria's name, if you
Right.
mispronounce it, I need $1, bro.
Thank
No, wait,
you.
I
wait, wait.
need a
No, I
dollar.
I need $5.
You want to do that the rest of the night? Because I'm a man of my word. I'll do it for real.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
$5.
every
He
time,
says
so Issy, every time I
Zariah
say her
over
name
and
wrong, I
over
give
again.
you $1. I gotta give you a
Yes.
dollar.
Zariah.
Yes.
It's Zaria.
Literally, I keep explaining to him
Oh
it's
my
like
God. Give me a
Zaria,
dollar right
Aria
there.
with a Z, Zaria.
Issy, so I owe you $1.
See all the
Yes.
comments,
All right, bet.
Oh.
Wait, are you not accepting my
and I see all
contract?
the comments,
Sister,
What the
don't
comments
ever
say?
say your name right.
I see all the comments agreeing with me, and I just have to say my dad is a barber, and he has been for like 20 years. He owns his own barbershop, but I have seen men transform. They could be a good four, and they come out with a great fade, a good haircut, and they'll be like the finest man on earth. Like,
Facts. Facts.
Let me say
Hmm.
something though. I wanna
That's their
and
makeup.
COVID
we gonna stay on
COVID-19
topic, but
had the boys
I
down
wanna address
bad.
something. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead and give it up, bro. Go
Hold
ahead
on.
and give us a dollar.
I want to address what Zaria said. I want to address what
It's
Zaria said.
Zachariah.
So, listen, cold approach because Genesis, you and Susan weren't in here earlier, so you wasn't in here earlier when I was talking about this. Listen, I do not believe that cold approaching women is something that listen, there's some men that are still out here doing it, but I think it's dead in 2022 as we're about to approach 2023. Listen, these women don't even want to give. First of all, they back in the day when we was kids and stuff, Issy and Zaria, they used to be dancing in these clubs and stuff. Women would go out there and be dancing with men that they never seen before, that they never talked to before, that they didn't know from a can of paint. These women don't want to dance with men these days. These women are not giving men their real numbers. They either giving out fake numbers, they giving out a number from a text app. They giving out Google numbers. These women are walking around with pocket knives, mace, guns. Like we in the Me Too era, sex trafficking is a very big thing right now. Like let's keep it all the way real. A lot of women really don't want to be approached by, because a lot of women really don't want to be approached by a man that they don't know, especially a man that's taller in stature, bigger in stature. I mean, in a social setting, they may feel more comfortable, but I think even in social settings, they really don't want to be approached like that. They rather prefer to talk to someone on social media because on social media, they can decide if they want to reply to the guy. And even if they do want to reply to the guy, they can decide when they want to reply to him. Like, listen, some of these women is operating on very short fuses. Some of these women have had negative experiences, you know, with men that they've rejected, or just men just approaching them in real life. So, I think it can low key be dangerous for men. Like if you encroach on a woman's space, she feels you've encroached on her space too much. She might be a little paranoid. She might act out of her paranoia, and you might suffer something because of that. Like, but that's just honestly how I feel. I think men need to be very careful about if they are gonna cold approach a woman. I think they need to be very careful about doing that today. Because I have my older sister lives in Atlanta. Sex trafficking is very big in Atlanta right now. I have a younger sister. My younger sister is very much, active in the nightlife right now. And I just know what women are subjected to when they go outside. Like, and just how they have to move versus the way us men, how we move. Like, we not worried about, I wouldn't be scared or even, you know, a little iffy if Zaria approached me or Susan or so approached me, but for women, it's different. And I'm not trying to accidentally get shot. I don't want somebody spraying mace in my face. I don't want nobody pulling a knife out on me, and all I'm trying to do is say hi. So, but
It's
that's just my
all
little two
about
cents.
like
Yeah, I
it's
forgot you're
all
just
about the
the U.S.,
approach
bro.
and like
I've never seen that happen here, so I gotta,
Yeah,
say, 'cause I'm in
you in
Canada.
Canada, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I know the slang, bro. I know the slang.
yeah, it's more
I
CB
mean,
than like anything. But go ahead.
it's
Go
all
ahead,
about
Zaria.
it's
So
all about the approach and like social cues, and this is something I teach my brothers about, because like if you pull up on a girl and you're like, hey, how you doing, and she like not giving you the time of day, leave her the fuck alone. Like obviously a girl is gonna walk towards you, they gonna look at you, they gonna give you eye contact, they gonna whatever if they're interested. Like these guys nowadays, you'll say no and they want to walk you to the car, we can't be friends, they want to try to touch you or get too close. That's when it's like you need to move. Like you need to learn social cues. If she comes up to you, if you say something first to her or whatever, like, cool. But if you don't, like, then just move on. Like I don't think guys take rejection well, and it's like they got to learn that because in Atlanta, like Noble said, like they're crazy. I had a guy follow me to my car at Quick Trip. I'm in the car, lock the doors, and he knocks on the window like, "I can't talk to you for a second." Like first of all, that's how you get killed.
No,
Like that's
man.
literally how you get killed.
And hey, and Zaria, that's why you need to I don't know how you moving out there, but you need to be moving correctly out there because you already know what's going on out there. Like you can't be playing games. You can't be playing games with your life like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy. And a lot of guys don't have like game either. Like, and of course it's coming from a girl, so it's like it don't mean much. But um, like certain stuff they say, like you can't just walk up to a girl. Like I have had guys try to harass you and be like, "Hey, sexy" or something like that. Like that's not getting nobody's attention. Like you sound creepy. Like that's not gonna work. Like ask somebody like, "How you doing?" Like something like that. Like whatever. But be
No,
kind,
I
like not
disagree.
overly aggressive.
I disagree
go
because
ahead.
again, with certain people have certain type of rules and certain things that they can get away with. That's why I disagree with that. Of like you saying like, oh, that's not gonna work. Certain people are able to do that.
Okay,
Yeah, but
Zaria,
like, what
Zaria,
does the
Zaria,
guy look like? You
Zaria,
know,
let me ask you a
like
question. I want you to answer it 100% honestly. If
Well,
if
What?
a man that you didn't know like approached you and he approached you in that manner, but you did find him to be physically attractive. Are you going to like be 100% honest? Are you going to let it slide because you find him physically attractive, or are you still gonna really not be interested in talking to him?
you said. Can you repeat
If
it again?
you
It
if
was
you
kind of like
really if Yeah, if you found that man to be, if a man that you didn't know but you found him to be physically attractive, if he approached you in that manner like what's good, ma, what's good, sexy, are you going to give him the same reaction that you would give a man that you did not find to be physically attractive? Like, be 100% honest.
I feel like he would get more of a response from me. Like I would turn around and be like, "What did you just say?" Like kind of surprised that it would come out of his mouth. But as far as like me giving you my number and we hanging out, like no, if you talking to me like that on a regular day, I don't even really want to know what your day to day conversations sound like. Like I don't know. Like I'll
Yeah,
pass.
I agree
Yeah,
with
that would be
Z on
enough.
that.
It's cap. It's cap.
Yeah,
Go.
Hold
that
on, hold on,
you know
I
what's
no,
hold on,
crazy?
hold
no,
on, hold on, hold on,
no,
hold on.
but I
You know what's
understand
crazy
what
though?
you're
Go,
saying.
go
You know
ahead, go
what's
ahead. So then you can go next, Susan.
okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I think that if I'm attracted to him, I'm gonna talk to him, right? I'm not gonna really, yeah. So technically, yeah, I would be letting it slide. Where if I wasn't attracted, I would just shut it down. But like Z said, like, am I really gonna try to pursue a relationship with that person if that's what they say they want? Probably not, because the way first impressions matter. The way you talk to me the first time you saw me, that matters. Like I'm gonna take that into account, and it tells me the kind of person you are, and it tells me what you're actually looking for. Me, when I'm dating, I'm very intentional, and I know the type of men that I want, and I know how they're gonna approach me. So yeah, I might talk to him, but am I actually gonna have a relationship or actually pursue anything? Probably not, depending on what exactly was said.
But okay, before Susu, before you so or Susan, before you speak, but so on a large scale, like I'm not saying all women, but on a
Yeah.
very large scale, if I said that women really only what the standards that women be making up for themselves, like whether they're justified in having them or not, if I said that the standards women be having really only apply to men that they don't like, on
Hmm.
a very large scale, would you agree with me on that?
100%.
All right.
100%. When if we're attracted to him, there's a lot of, and I don't personally do these things, but I'm gonna say word because I don't want to feel like I'm targeting women or like trying to speak down on other women. But as a whole, when we are attracted to men, we let a lot of stuff slide. We could see red flags and they could be hitting us in the face, and we're gonna let it slide. And then we come back around and complain about it, but that's a whole other conversation. But we do let a lot of stuff
Yeah,
slide.
I
Yeah, you know
agree,
what?
but like
I would say.
I'm
Oh,
not gonna
sorry,
lie
God.
though. I have guy friends who also will be in like relationships with girls who dog them out, and like they stick with the girl because she cute. Like I promise you, I seen that too. Like they could be like
But
the
Yo,
most
they stick
verbally
with her to
I
abusive type
sleep
of
with her,
girl. Like
not to
eh,
do anything with her.
Go ahead, Jen.
Exactly.
what?
no,
Go ahead,
I was
Jen.
gonna say I seen Pretty Boy Fredo. You guys know who he is?
Yeah.
Pretty Boy
Hmm.
Fredo. Okay, so he has a little thing where he dressed like a bad guy. Kind of like bad guys. And then you got another, and then that same episode he put on the nerd gear, and the way he was talking to women as the bad guy, as in like we'll say the thug type of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
He was picking up girl after girl, even
Mm-hmm.
though they're like, yo, how you come talk to me like that? And I'm like, yo, what? And then when he came as the nerd, yo, 99% the man got rejected. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even
He
look the part,
lame.
bro. Like,
He
I ain't
lame,
messing with you.
boring. He's a
He
nerd.
is square.
Hey, Genesis, you know y'all love. Listen, I know y'all love the word nerd out there. He's a nerd. He boring. He lame, and that's a real thing too, bro. Like I know we have women on this panel, and obviously, right, it's not all women, but you're 100% right about that, Genesis. Like, bro, especially in a setting, and listen, I don't move like that, but listen, I've seen that, and I know what be going on out here. Like, especially in a setting, Genesis, where like they do got some alcohol in their system. They've been shaking their booty all night, and they have been getting lit with their friends and whatnot, bruh. Like what you just said, 100% facts. Like when the lights come on, when we outside now in the parking lot, bruh, they be saying all type of stuff to these women. They just be sitting there entertaining it, and I just be like, okay, interesting. But
I'm,
go
I'm
ahead.
think
No, go back,
I
Kevin.
think that I'm just gonna say I think the ladies are attributing the bad guy to like the protector part because that fierce self is like yo I ain't taking shit from no one compared to looking at the nerdy guy looking like he might be more passive and just like oh well, we don't want no problems and for some reason women like yo I need my man to be able to protect me and someone messes around I need to know he's gonna knock that nerve out and I hear this all the time and I'm like oh
Yeah.
okay everyone wants to fight but I don't want to fight damn
Those
we just
women
shoot
need
over
to
here.
not put themselves in situations where you need to hit somebody. That's
No,
sad.
okay, so that's kind of where I disagree cuz like I like am a daddy's girl. Like I moved in with my dad when I was 9 years old, been living with him since I was younger. It's not necessarily about I'm going to put my man in situations where he going to have to like tussle. It's about like knowing that if something were to pop off, um like I don't have to put myself in a situation where something happens. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever try to like pick fights or like, some people are toxic like that where they just want to like
Yeah.
do like I'll just call my man, and that's how men get killed too, because now
Mm-hmm.
brothers is beefing with baby daddies and the girl taking them back, and now the brother like that stuff happens. um
Facts.
but I have been in a relationship with like a really passive person where it's like if we get robbed, I'm gonna have to tussle with him because he's gonna end up like getting his ass beat. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
that
Like Kevin.
happens.
But
Kevin
wait,
said,
wait.
"You get smacked, you just got smacked because you ain't jumping in no fights."
I
no,
got a
but this is
question
the
though.
thing though, and this is the thing. This is the thing. Like, I don't like. Why are women trying to make it seem like there's a direct correlation in how a man carries
Exactly.
himself and how he's going to respond in or how you think he's going to respond in certain situations. So just because I may come off like a square don't mean that I'm not walking around with it on me. Don't mean I won't use it. Don't mean it don't make me less of a man. But for whatever reason, if I was carrying myself a certain way, if I was carrying myself like a D boy, if I was carrying myself like a kingpin, if I was carrying myself like a robber, in a lot of women's minds, for whatever reason, that guy is somehow seen as he's gonna be more of a protector. Like, make it make sense to me, please.
Yeah,
Talking
that's
about the guys that
true.
like look like they won't do anything. I'm just saying like as long as I know that he can. Like I'm speaking from a term of like I dated a guy who came from like like silver spoon fed family. Like they never had to been in a fight, like never experienced anything like that, and was more like if somebody tell him to shut the f up, he'll probably just shut the f up type of thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
not even to the point of like speaking up for himself. Like not all confrontation has to be negative, but like
Right.
being able to like kind of stand your ground and know when to walk away is also a powerful standpoint. Like, you know,
Right.
like there's times where you just know like we're just gonna leave this situation alone because it's about to get too heated versus like we about to get robbed and we need to like or not maybe not even rob because sometimes you're just supposed to let them
Yeah.
take the stuff but
Sorry.
you know what I
Sorry. It's
mean.
discernment. I understand what you're saying. It's discernment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
discernment. Yeah,
So
yeah, I
yeah,
definitely am not going for the guy that's trying to up the pole on every guy that look my way like
exactly.
that
Right.
crazy.
That's what I'm
Hell no,
saying.
that's
So
how
if
you
But
get
that's
killed.
that's that's
what
that's
women
not
are though.
intelligent man. That's not a smart man. That's a dumb man. Like everything does not need to be entertained. And like to the men on the panel and the men, any men that are in here, please, if you in a relationship with a woman, don't be thinking that you need to like put your life on the line or it's up for every little thing. No, brother, have the spirit of discernment. You don't need to entertain everything. And if she
Mm-hmm.
sees you as less of a man because you don't want to like make it go up on every situation, please run fast away from that woman. Run fast and far away from that woman. Cause that's how men be losing their lives. And listen, when you lose your life, when you go to jail, that same dude that you upped it on, she's gonna have his Johnson all in her mouth when you in jail, or when you in the coffin. She gonna be
Yo,
getting her
and
back blown out by that same guy. I'm telling y'all, I'm not trying to be funny.
like
Y'all don't have to
just
listen to me, but that's what's gonna happen.
from personal
Right?
experience too, a lot of those guys that are like temperamental and hot-headed, they'll also put their hands on you if like the conversation between
Mm-hmm.
y'all get heated enough.
Mhm.
So like yeah, discernment, the guys that will do something if need be but not like super hot-headed and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Hold on, hold
Like,
on,
Wait,
hold on,
wait,
hold
wait.
on, hold
Miss
on. Issy, I
Susan was
want
waiting.
Susan to speak. I want Susan to speak.
Hi, yes. So I think, like I mentioned before, I'm 42 years old. So I think that a lot of, the knowledge on how to, because nothing in life is guaranteed, on how you accept a man, and in the subject of protection, wouldn't be, like the Hood Act anymore, but that comes from, experience as well. So I used to think that way when I was younger, but I notice right now that the quieter men are the ones that have your back even more, and the intelligent ones, what we call nerds, are the ones that will be real quick to protect you. So that also comes with experience. And to reply to something that EC said earlier about the subject, where um if a man was more attractive, where we like let the red flags go, we kind of have to understand that men and women are very different, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but men are a bit more visual than women are. Us women, we look for an emotional connection for a man, and then the looks come second. Rather than a man's priorities might be a little different, and that's why some women like me, I don't care how attractive that man is, if you approach me a certain type of way, you're not getting a number or any type of information from me other than a conversation that anybody else would have. So those are just my thoughts on the subject.
Issy, you had a question?
yeah, and maybe this is just because I'm younger. I feel as if a lot of women, how can I say it? They say that they want a certain thing, but their actions convey the complete opposite of like,
Yep.
oh, I want the good guy and everything like that. Like me and my pops have a saying like, women say that they want Russell Wilson, but when they get the chance, they choose Future. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to know, is that a wrong thing? Like, am
Listen,
I thinking
listen.
wrong?
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm gonna
Wait,
let the
you said
listen,
is
one
that a
second.
wrong thing?
Like wrong like for me to think that?
No, listen,
No.
listen. Let me
No,
tell
because
you
it's
something.
true.
Let me tell you something. Okay, listen. I say this all the time, and I'm gonna say it again. If there's anyone in here that hasn't heard me say it before, okay, Issy, you're 21. Let me tell you something. Okay, as someone that's 4 years older than you, and has
Damn.
just seeing certain things, and not even consciously studied, but just seeing certain things, and you just learn the game that way. Listen, okay, these women when they are our age, when you, so and Zaria and myself, we all the same age range. When they are our age, they want the wannabe dope boy, they want the wannabe kingpin, they want the robber. They want the dude that's up in fashion. They want the scammer. Okay, it is not until they get dogged out by each of those men,
Mm-hmm.
become a single mother 4 or 5 times, that they want to. When once soon as that happens, they don't want to deal with that type of man anymore. They want to
Mm-hmm.
go. They want to go deal with the corporate guy that got the corporate job, and he got the benefits, and he got the health insurance, the dental insurance, the disability insurance. He paid taxes. He don't. He can go outside and he don't got to be looking all over his shoulder. He don't owe nobody money. He don't got nobody trying to take his head off. And they want to be with that guy. But you see what the catch is? Now they got all these kids, right? Because the scammer, he ain't work out. He dogged her out. The robber dogged her out. The dope boy dogged her out. So now she want to be with you and have you pick up all that slack. You're the fallback guy. So just always remember that women do have fallback guys. Like when these guys don't work out, like these guys over here, this is my real preference, right? This they real preference over here. But when they get dogged out and become single mothers, now they gonna come over to this side and they gonna want you to take care and pick up all the slack that them other guys left them with. So that's
Oh,
how
I'm
it works.
supposed to do that?
You know,
Wait, so
uh,
Noble,
yeah,
I
everybody's opinion is actually it's valid because like as you move through life, these are the experiences that are really happening. And as we get older and we get more understanding, our we desire different, as the host was saying, and that's facts. And like as for like most guys being scammers and all that when they're dope guys, it's more of a possibility for the fact that the life they're living is already something that they don't even want out there. So they're not really trying to keep so like even their name. They're not gonna say yo unless they're really personal with you. Yeah, my name's Michael Johnson. Compared to yo, obviously yo, I'm Nine Xenogenesis. What's happening? So we doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's also going to be the mindset of the individual and what they attract. Because I wholly believe everyone that you attract in your life, your mindset has a piece of their mindset. That's why you guys are attracted to each other. So even when people are like, oh, well, he did me wrong, but there was something about him that attracted you to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore you had that little bit of wrong in you anyways. So your mindset, because a person who's like when I looked at, because I watched this movie, this Sex and the City series, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you had the that one who was particularly she was only about marriage and like and dealing with a guy. I can't remember what her name is, but she was the brunette one. Her relationships always turned out on the up and up for her compared to the one like Samantha or Carrie, because Carrie Bradshaw was trying to chase Biggs all the time, and when it didn't go how she wanted to, because that's the guy she wanted, that she just went to a next guy. So everyone has a fallback. It's actually pretty intense, and then for real, women like what they hear, and men like what they see. That's what you want a woe woman. You speak something to her mind where it's like that's possible, and for some reason, Jamaican style bomba panties are in your hand. For
Hey,
real,
let
for
me say
real.
something, and then I'll let you speak. Issy, I forgot to add this part. Listen, brother, be a square, okay? Don't try to be out here and become no dope boy. Don't try to be out here putting your life at risk trying to rob people. Don't become a scammer. Listen, for whatever reason, this is the issue that I be having. For whatever reason, a lot of women are equating a square, like a lot, not all, but a lot of women nowadays. When people say nowadays, when women like say square, they basically saying like you're a lame. Like when really all a square is that I'm not doing all the things that those other guys are doing. I'm not putting my life at risk. I'm not putting my freedom at risk. That doesn't mean just because he's a square don't mean he's lame. Just because he's a square don't mean that he doesn't go outside and have fun, or he doesn't travel or do any of those things. But listen, brother, stay a square, okay? For whatever reason, because they want And Genesis, you know, you said you was out there in the ends living a certain way at one point in time. They, for whatever reason, when they're younger, they like that fast money. They want that man that can, we can take weekend trips to Miami this week, and we can be in the Florida Keys next week, and then we can be in LA the week after. That's what they want when they're younger. But like I said, they are going to get dogged out, and they're going to become single mothers, and then they're gonna come running to you. They're not even. That's the funny thing. When they get dogged out and become single mothers, they don't even want to go run to the another man that got 3 kids by 3 different men, or 3 different women, or 4 kids by 4 different women. They want to go to you that don't got any kids, and they want
Hmm.
to hear them and all their kids. But I'm gonna shut up and let Soso. Oh,
Yo,
actually,
you know
Genesis,
what's
then I'm
crazy
gonna let
though?
Soso go.
I just want to say this quickly. Like, you're right, but on the other side, you have people that are living in foreign countries that are squares just to get a visa to come to a country where they can get more
Mm-hmm.
opportunity via economics, where there's a lot more jobs. So even the square is going to dog someone out. Like, so the street guy can dog someone out, but also the street guy might be very honest. Like me, I learned from the streets the honesty with the homies. I just keep it honest, period, because like there's no point in lying. So anything I did with a woman, whether in a relationship or not, is because it was consensual, it was mutual, and I kept it 100. When she got a chance to choose, she was like, "Oh well, we're just clapping cheeks. Well, fuck it, we ain't kissing and telling. Well, let's do that." Or if it's like, "Oh, we're in a relationship. Okay, this was happening. Then let's do that." So like, there's attributes you're gonna get from both sides, and I could check out. I check it out. Like, since my mom was always working,
Mm-hmm.
she left her mom's house at 16.
Mm-hmm.
She came to Canada at 14. So her mom was treating her a certain way. She just left. Whatever that is, whatever. And so me, certain factors happened where I ended up just rolling with the streets. That was my influence. But it still gave me characteristic to be solid because I got to see the genjitsu, I call it. The situation where I tell every black man or any man, period, stay a square. Most people can't handle this life and you could die. There's no point in being in jail. I've been in jail for 2 years and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. It's
Yeah,
not worth it. Stay a
Yeah.
square.
yeah,
I
Don't
will
try to impress
say.
anybody because I didn't do it for impressing, but I did it because that's what we did as homies. We took things. We're the have-nots, so we'll take whatever we want to.
yeah.
Had nothing to do with girls.
On
Yeah.
a serious note, I
Um.
appreciate you for not I appreciate you for not glorifying that lifestyle. And you know, I listen. I know that sometimes people have to do things that they don't necessarily want to do, but they need to do it out of necessity, like not having. You know, and not that's not just like upping it and fashion on people. That's not just being a scammer or selling dope. It's a lot of different things people do that they don't want to do, but you know, they're in unfortunate situations. But I respect you for not, you know, glorifying it. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Soso.
So, about what you were saying, Noble, I think that we need to be dating with a purpose. I think that when we all start dating with a purpose, it solves a lot of these issues. Because, like you said, a lot of us want to just have fun, both men and women. We want to have fun in our 20s and do all this stuff. And then we get to our early 30s or sometimes even late 30s, and some of us have kids. And now we want to settle down, right? But if you go out and your intentions are to settle down with someone, you're not, there's just certain things you're not going to entertain. There's just certain things. So if you're a man that wants to settle down, you want to get married, you want to do this, you got to find that woman. You can't just date some of these women out on these streets because that's not what they're looking for.
Right,
So you're going to be met with somebody that's not being the type of woman that you want.
right,
And that's not going to be a happy situation. Same for us women. We can't just keep going up these scammers and, these fast money guys. Like, a lot of them are not looking to settle down. They're looking to smash.
right,
A lot of that's what they're looking for. So if you're a woman that wants to get married, what business do you have being with that type of man? It doesn't make any sense. So once we decide what we want for our lives and our, whether it's companionship or marriage or whatever it is, then move forward that way. And it solves a lot of these issues.
hey, yeah. Go ahead, Susan. Go ahead, Susan. Oh, guys,
No,
really quick. I want Susan to speak, and then Genesis, I want you to give your last words, brother. Issy, I want you to give your last words. I gotta recycle some women in here. That's what we're gonna do. But go
I
ahead, Susan.
mean, yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So I think that one of the issues is dating with a purpose, and I actually wanted to also approach something that Issy said just to kind of help out here. Stay a good guy. What I learned throughout the years is that you can be a good person and not be for everybody. you know you can be a good person and not do anything wrong and still not be for that person, and it's not nothing in particular that you did, but that person's looking for something in you that you're not, and you have to kind of keep it moving, find who is really for you. And so when you stay a good guy, that will attract a good woman to you. For example, you said, oh, good women say they want this and that, but they don't want it. And for example, I'm a well established woman, right? I have a college education, and I make a good amount of money. So in order for I'm looking for a guy, and I do have a lot of good guys in my life, but one thing that is important to me is how a man talks to me. That's very important to me, how a man approaches me, how he approaches a situation. So this man can be a really extremely good guy, but if he doesn't have like that quality of how to talk to me, even though he's a good man, I will kind of not want to be with him for those things. And it's not necessarily something that is wrong with that man, but it's just not what I'm looking for. So just because a woman doesn't think that you are the man for them, doesn't mean that you're not a good guy. And also the decisions that a man makes, like lately, like I just started dating about it's been like a year and a half ago. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start dating again. And I've seen a lot of men my age have brand new babies and stuff like that. And it kind of molds, it kind of puts an idea, not that I have kids myself, but they're grown, and based on my age, it kind of gives me the impression that they're making wrong decisions still at this age, because we were talking about people who were in their 20s making bad decisions, which is kind of normal because your brain is not really there developed yet. But at this age, I expect a little more. So as you age and get wiser, your expectations will also change.
Hmm.
Okay. Hey,
Wait,
Genesis. Um, please say your last words, brother. Address any if you want to address anything Soso or Susan said, and say your last words, brother. Please.
Yeah, I just say, man, like wherever everyone is, man, your life is perfect right now. There's some things you have to realize. There's some information you have to gather to attune yourself to the next level of perfection. And after that, there'll be another level of perfection. So understand, we're all growing, we're all learning. So ain't nothing. And that's what Susan said. Yes, there may be a guy who's not talking properly, but also when you get a backstory, as if you're friends with him first, because you should always court before you ever just jump into a relationship. You get the backstory where this person never spoke, and he never spoken politely to anybody because he grew up in a certain way where it's like, yo, he had to be stern and he had to keep it moving. Compared to when he gets with the person that would care about him to say, well, this is how I'd rather you talk to me. And for some reason, he cares about you that much where he's like, I've changed for you, and now I've also grown because I've listened to you. So there's so many different reasons, and we just gotta be aware of what's really going on, gain some intel, and please everybody court first. Don't just jump into something solid. You can hear red flags real quick when you have a conversation with someone over a month period of time, 2 months, 3 months, and you'll know what's up, man. You won't get caught in the illusion of the red flags not being seen. But yeah, that's it, man. Everyone's got it, man. Talk to y'all later.
Man, thank you, Genesis. I appreciate you, brother. Nice talking to you again.
Yeah, for sure. Peace.
For having me. This was an interesting conversation, but I gotta go to bed. So thank you so much, and everybody in the panel. I learned a lot. Have a nice night.
Thank you, Susan. You have a nice night as
Have
well.
a
Thank
good
you so much.
night.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.